Hey guys, how are you doing? I hope everyone's doing well. It is Tuesday the 9th of December and I have come on to do your daily love reading. Now for those of you who are familiar to the way I read, you would know that I do tend to go quite in depth with my readings, and for that reason I don't post my readings full here on TikTok. So if you do want to watch this reading in full, all you have to do is head to my YouTube channel, which you can find by heading to my TikTok page, and under my picture you'll find a YouTube link. If you click that, it will take you directly to my channel. So I didn't actually get to come on to do yesterday's reading. I wasn't feeling too great. I was having a bit of a sad day yesterday, to be honest. So the last reading I did was, I think it was Sunday, and it was in regards to a masculine who had felt as though they'd completely self-sabotaged a chance or an opportunity with an Empress energy because they were busy, or too busy I should say, playing mind games. So I'm interested to see what wants to come out today. I'm going to start the reading with my Twin Flame Oracle deck just to get an idea of this person's feelings that I'm about to read for. And then I'm going to use tarot just to clarify all of these messages, okay? So we start the reading with courage. We have divine feminine as well, okay? Lonely. So it does seem as though somebody is trying to find the strength and courage to come forward towards a feminine energy, I want to say. This is somebody who they actually think the world of, in all honesty. They look at this feminine energy and they very much put this feminine on a pedestal here, okay? We have a masculine also feeling very lonely. Feeling very lonely, okay? They're finding the strength and courage to come forward towards a feminine. At the moment, they're feeling really sad. That lonely card is such a sad, kind of heartbroken energy. We have understanding. Let's get two more. We have trigger, okay? That falls directly under the divine feminine. So I wonder if this feminine has triggered this masculine in some way. Let's get one more. Healing, root chakra healing and patience, okay? So like I said, we have courage here. Someone is trying to find the strength and courage to come forward towards a feminine energy. It's a masculine who's feeling extremely lonely at the moment. I do feel a sense of solitude here as well. I feel as though this masculine is actually going within themselves, trying to find deeper meanings or deeper answers, perhaps towards like why they do the things they do or why they behave in a certain way. Because we have understanding here. So it's almost like this masculine is asking the feminine for some kind of understanding. What followed understanding was trigger. So I'm wondering if the feminine has triggered the masculine in some way. We also have root chakra healing. This masculine is definitely going through a stage of healing at the moment. And it's rooted quite far down. I feel like this is years, to be honest, years of like trauma or healing that is taking place at the moment. But I definitely feel as though we have a feminine here who's triggered this masculine into kind of going into that healing mode at the moment, okay? So let's go in and see with the tarot if we can get some deeper meanings and messages behind this energy here. So tell me more about the courage card. Finding the strength and courage to come forward. I love the illustrator on this because they're literally walking on a tightrope. So they're, you know, it's scary. It's definitely scary for this person to find that strength and courage to come forward. This is somebody who I feel like struggles with their self-confidence. They don't feel very confident. We have an emperor, okay? I'm trying to dig deep and find the strength to show up as I really should, okay? That's what I'm feeling here with that emperor energy full, okay? There's a sense of them feeling as though in order for them to get their new beginning or to have a fresh start, they have to find this courage to move forward. What they're moving forward towards, obviously we do see divine feminine here, but we're not quite still sure what their intentions are with that, okay? With the emperor being here as well, though, there are negative traits to the emperor, and those negative traits can be somebody who's quite set in their ways or somebody who is quite stubborn as well, okay? So this is also something that they're struggling in doing because they're so used to doing things a certain way, or they are quite stubborn, okay? But like I said, with the full being here, it's almost like I know I can't get my fresh start until I find that strength and courage to move forward, and I get myself out of this, you know, these negative toxic way of thinking, right? Being stubborn or being very set in their own ways. It's almost like with the full being here as well, it's like I need to find a new way of doing things because I feel like that's the only way I'm going to really heal. Okay, tell me more about this divine feminine. Who is this divine feminine? What does she mean to this masculine? Queen of Wands as well. Okay. So not only does this masculine put this feminine up on a pedestal, this is actually somebody they feel very attracted to, very attracted. This feminine in particular ticks a lot of boxes for this masculine. With the Two of Wands being here as well, there is an element of them having to make a decision, and it's a decision about their future. Okay, so far what we have here on the table is actually quite positive. They're moving towards this feminine, and I feel like what's kind of guiding them forward is the way they feel towards the feminine, how they feel towards the situation. Okay, there's definitely something about this person. There's something about this person that just, it's almost like I just can't shake that feeling. I can't shake them out of my energy, right? Tell me more about this lonely card. Three of Cups in reverse. Okay, so if you're in a situation or have dealt with a situation with a masculine who perhaps has been quite set in their ways or quite stubborn in a sense of actually moving things forward with you, and there may have been third party energy lingering, the fact the Three of Cups has come out in reverse is telling me or showing me that that has now come to an end. It's clarifying that lonely card. So I feel as though this masculine has or is about to make the decision to kind of cut out all other distractions here, okay? This third party energy, I feel like it's very karmic, right? There was a lesson that had to be learned here with this third party energy. And I feel as though this masculine has almost learned that lesson or is about to learn that lesson, right? I just need solitude. I need to be on my own. I need to think my own thoughts. I need to see or feel how it is I'm truly feeling, because it's almost like this masculine realizes that this could potentially be quite a pivotal moment in their life if they, if they make the correct decisions or they just do things differently. Like I said, the Emperor being here, very set in their ways, very stubborn. But again, with the Fool, I know that I need to do something different in order to get my fresh start. So, I mean, this root chakra healing card down here is definitely, they've been through quite a lot, I want to say. With the root chakra healing, the root is what is holding all of our past traumas, right? All of our past experiences that haven't been very nice. But unless we actually deal with the situation properly, that's always going to sit there within ourselves. So yeah, definitely a powerful reading, I feel. Definitely powerful. Okay, Three of Wands. Yeah, okay. Devil at the bottom of the deck. Now this is also clarifying that lonely energy there. We go from the Two of Wands to the Three of Wands. So to be honest, I feel as though perhaps they're still here in this kind of energy where they're about to make a decision. They're really thinking heavily of this Queen of Wands. So somebody who, like I said, they feel a lot of love for. There's a lot of attraction here. There's a lot of good qualities that this feminine holds. Not only are they all obviously very attracted to them, but there's a sense of like I said, there's them acting as a bit of like a lighthouse for them to help them move forward, to help them find the courage to do so as well. So almost like the feminine's like, come with me, I will help you, I will guide you, I will help heal you, right? And yeah, this energy here with the lonely card, the Three of Cups in reverse and the Three of Wands, I just feel as though with the cards that have come out here, they're about to make that decision. I don't feel as though they've actually cut this third party energy out yet. I feel as though it's a decision they're going to make where it's like, I just need to be on my own. I need to be in solitude here. I need to, it's almost like they know the next step they do take is going to either make them or break them. Okay, they're very much aware of this. It isn't until I feel they've made this decision that actually things start moving here. With the Three of Wands. The Three of Wands, I've made a decision and I'm moving forward. They've embarked on that new path, right? Tell me more about this understanding. Eight of Swords, sorry. Let's get one more. And the Nine of Swords. Wow, 8 to the 9. So, understanding. I need the feminine's understanding here. The feminine has triggered this masculine. They've really triggered this masculine. With the third party energy being here, have they triggered the masculine to the point where they kind of were triggered enough to move towards a third party energy or to seek outside validation rather than sticking with this connection. I'm not too sure, but the understanding really is alluding to this Eight of Swords card. I feel really strongly. I'm sorry that I kept you in this state of almost like frozen in time. I'm sorry that I caused you a lot of stress. I'm sorry that I caused you a lot of anxiety. There's a feeling here of this feminine at one point feeling completely stuck and bounded by the way in which they felt or the way in which they were feeling here. Something just wasn't working here in the past. And again, I keep looking at that Emperor card and thinking stubbornness, set in their ways. Something didn't move forward here, and that's why they're having to find the strength and courage to do all this, to move forward in some sense, right? They feel really regretful here about something. I feel perhaps maybe it's causing the feminine to be in this energy, feeling stuck. With the Eight of Swords, it's almost like somebody wasn't communicating, somebody wasn't giving them the answers, right? And I don't like the Eight of Swords, and I don't like thinking that, somebody would like purposely try and keep someone stuck in this energy, because it's really not a nice place to be, right? When you're surrounded by your own dark thoughts, if there's no communications, you're going to make assumptions, and that's the worst thing that you could do, right? But if you're not having the communication from that person, ultimately you don't have any other choice than to make up your own assumptions or to give yourself the own answers, right? It's almost like the feminine is saying, you kept me stuck here for such a long time. You weren't honest with me. You weren't truthful with me. You weren't communicating with me. You left me in a state of confusion almost on purpose. And it was a really shitty thing to do. And the masculine is realizing that. The masculine is feeling really regretful over doing this. Now, this is talking about stress, anxiety, really negative thoughts. Why did I do that? Or why did I say that? Or why didn't I do that? Why didn't I say that, right? There's an element of why did I keep them stuck here for so long when I feel this way about them? This is what I mean. Like, they are like completely they adore this feminine. Divine Feminine, Queen of Wands, they absolutely adore them. They're so attracted to them. Why did I do this instead of actually doing the right thing here with this feminine? There's definitely regret here, a big regret. I need the feminine to understand why. And we move on to the trigger energy, which makes me feel as though a conversation that perhaps is going to be had is the masculine coming forward and saying, you triggered me so much to the point that perhaps I didn't do this or I did that. Or you triggered me so much that it confused me and I left you in a state of confusion because I didn't know how to move forward or, what steps to take to move forward. Tell me more about this triggered energy. Five of Cups, okay. Two of Cups, yeah. This masculine had a lot of inner conflict here, I want to say, around this connection. Something the feminine did, I don't think purposely, but it definitely triggered this masculine, right? They're feeling very regretful, very sad. This is an energy of grief, of loss, of sorrow. So not only are they feeling lonely in the sense of, this energy up here, there's also an element of them feeling as though they've missed out on this very special connection which they shared with somebody. And that somebody being this divine feminine up here, this Queen of Wands. What this feminine had to offer them was not like anything they've ever had before. I feel as though this is a masculine who's never actually had somebody come in and say, I want to fill your cup all the way up, right? This is somebody, a feminine, who gave endless amounts of love. They were very nurturing. They were very kind. They made this masculine feel seen in a way, right? But the feminine was asking for the masculine to also fill their cup up. And I just, from what I'm seeing here, with the triggered, the healing that had to take place, the understanding, the third party energy, I don't think this masculine reciprocated the way perhaps they should have in the past. Tell me more about this root chakra healing. What is this in regards to? Seven of Cups. King of Cups. Okay. So the problem I see here with this person in particular, and it's quite a direct message, okay? We have, remember I said like this could be like years of trauma, years of trauma or things that have happened to them that haven't been very nice, okay? I do feel as though in the past this masculine may have been treated as though they perhaps weren't good enough, or they've always been treated like someone's always made them feel like there's something better out there for me, or there's, you know, perhaps this is a masculine who has been cheated on in every relationship they've been in, or have been betrayed in that way. And it's almost like this masculine does harbour very deep feelings and emotions for this particular feminine here. But it was almost like I feel a sense of, but I couldn't show that because in the past I've done that and I've been made to feel like my love isn't good enough, I'm not good enough, I don't have enough to give in a relationship. And it's caused trauma. It's caused me to, you know, have this build-up of trauma that needs healing here. They do have very deep feelings and emotions for this feminine. I feel as though with it being a King of Cups do feel very deeply, but they struggle to show it. They struggle to articulate how it is they are really feeling. And I do that. It's almost like they put on a poker face. You wouldn't really know to what depth this masculine is feeling towards this feminine because they hide it very well. What needs healing here, like I said with the Seven of Cups, is everyone who they've ever met has always made them feel as though, not even so much an option, but it's almost like that again, they've either gone elsewhere or they've treated or betrayed this masculine in some way. But they've always felt as though they just aren't good enough. So it could be that perhaps the feminine said something to trigger the masculine to make them feel this way, or there's been some kind of misunderstanding here. Something has triggered this masculine, but there's a reason for that. There's always a reason for our trigger, and there's always a reason why something happens the way it does, because it pushes us into that state of self-reflection. And actually, if there's healing that had to take place here, until this is really healed, until this masculine really works through this, they're not going to get that Two of Cups connection, right? It's almost like I feel as though this masculine feels as though if I don't work through my shit now, I'm going to miss out on this Queen of Wands. I'm going to miss out on this Divine Feminine. Actually, somebody who, genuinely, I cannot even describe in words how this masculine views this feminine. I'm literally lost for words. It's very deep. It runs very deep here. What do I want to ask? What the next steps are? Did they turn towards a third party energy? Let's see. Where are you going? You're going there. Right. Let's see. What are the next steps for this masculine? Obviously, we saw the strength and courage to come forward. We see them almost asking for forgiveness from the feminine and a sense of understanding why they've done something in a certain way or a certain manner. They're realizing that they have things they need to work on, which is obviously a positive. What are this masculine's next steps towards this feminine? Seven of Pentacles. Yeah, they don't like the way in which things have ended here. There's a feeling of them feeling really disgruntled. They feel as though within this connection there was a lot of there was foundation almost built. There was foundation set here. They weren't walking. They were working towards something quite stable here. And now that obviously it's come to an end, it's almost like they're looking and they're thinking, well, what was all that for? They don't want to feel like it was a complete waste of time. It's almost like they are realizing that this does have a deeper meaning for them. Queen of Swords in reverse. Okay. Let's get one more. Ten of Cups. Yeah. There's that sense of solitude again. So if they haven't made that decision to cut off the third party energy, it's happening soon. There's a sense of I just want to be on my own. There's a sense of I need to recharge. There's a sense of I just need to be in my own space here, right? They're really sad about the fact that they feel as though a lot of work was put into this and it either came to an end, or they just feel as though they're at a loss here. They look at this card, they're feeling really disgruntled. We have a Queen of Swords in reverse here. I do feel as though the feminine at one point was the Queen of Swords upright. Perhaps they put a very strong, firm boundary in place. Perhaps they, oh, I've just realised, was that the trigger? I think perhaps this feminine here said something or put some kind of boundary in place, which really triggered this masculine to go within and look at things differently, or, you know, to think to themselves, like I said, this next move I make is either going to make me or break me. Something needs to change though, because with that Emperor being there, being stubborn and set in your ways, you're never going to heal properly if you're in that kind of frame of mind. I think perhaps that the two energies I'm picking up on here, they're not in communication at the moment. And there's a sense coming from this masculine of, I don't want you to be angry at me, or I don't want you to be cold with me. If we're seeing a Queen of Wands and like a divine feminine energy, they're very loving. Very loving. Like, you feel their love, right? And the moment they take that energy away from you, you're also going to feel it just as much as you felt that, you know, being loved by them. And this masculine doesn't like it. Life is cold, life is dull, life is lonely, it's boring. When you were here, it was warm, it was colourful, it was exciting. Now you've just completely withdrawn from this connection. I feel it. I don't want you to be angry at me. That could be linked to that understanding. But I definitely, with that trigger from, I'm just looking back on what cards came out. The feminine here triggered this masculine massively. What the masculine is really thinking about here, obviously these were the next steps. It is their future, and it is to do with a loving, stable relationship. You are my 10 of Cups. You are my happily ever after. I see a future with you. We have children here in this card. We have a couple. We have the house in the background with the lake. I used to think there used to be a dog in here, but I don't think there is. No dog there. Don't know why I thought that. Tell me more about the Seven of Pentacles. I'm just looking at the time because I need to go pick my child up from school soon. Tell me more about the Seven of Pentacles. Oh, okay. Tower, Wheel of Fortune. So this element of feeling completely just, well, what was the reason for that? Or just feeling like really disgruntled about how things have turned out, I feel. The Tower reversed. If this feminine put that boundary in place, and if they showed up as that Queen of Swords, the Queen of Swords is quite cold, they're quite cutting, they're quite brutal, right? They may have completely cut off this masculine, completely, right? There's no communication. They may have blocked the masculine. They're just completely removed themselves from the masculine's life, right? And again, it's almost like the masculine is thinking, but I wish we could go back. I wish this tower didn't have to crumble. Again, there's an element and a sense of them missing this feminine immensely, right? We also have here the Wheel of Fortune. There's a sense of the masculine knowing that there is a new cycle waiting to begin here. But again, it's just them finding the strength and courage to move forward in the correct way. And do the inner work, do the inner healing here as well. Tell me more about the Queen of Swords in reverse. Was this the feminine putting that boundary in place? I don't want you to be angry at me. I don't want you to be cold with me. I don't like it when you're like that with me. I shouldn't laugh, but the Seven of Cups and the Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, okay. They fear that the feminine has options around them. Remember I said that this clarified an energy they had. This was to do with their healing, wasn't it? Where they didn't feel good enough, or people have always made them feel like, oh, I can get better, or I can get more, or they've, you know, betrayed them in some way or cheated. That's where a lot of their trauma comes from here. But what's triggered this masculine, I think, and it may have been the feminine actually saying, you know, I have options, or you know that I have other suitors waiting to come in to pursue me or date me in some way, right? They may not have even said that. It may just be this masculine thinking that the feminine has lots of options and, you know, people wanted to come in to offer them their cup, right? I think that's what's triggered them. Ace of Pentacles, yeah. They're triggered because they feel as though someone else is going to swoop in and give this feminine the Ace of Pentacles. They're scared that someone better is going to come in and literally offer the feminine what this masculine should have offered them. This is deep shit. This is deep, because I feel like that is what's driving them and pushing them to move forward, to find that courage. I keep seeing that courage card in my mind. That's what's pushing them to move forward, to do the inner work, to do the self-reflection, to do the right thing. Remember I said my next move is either going to make me or break me. They know. They're in deep thought, they're in deep contemplation, okay? What's triggered them is they think that the feminine has other options. Tell me more about this Ten of Cups, please. That did come up upright. Ten of Cups, yeah. Whew. I think the King of Cups came. Do you know, my memory is so bad. I'm of that of like a 67-year-old woman. I'm 36, but like my memory is so bad. It's so poor. I think the King of Cups has already come out in this reading, so forgive me if I'm repeating myself here. But yeah, the King of Cups definitely harbours very deep feelings and emotions. They don't always show it. I did speak about this, the poker face, right? They don't always know how to show it, or they don't always show it in the right way. But they have those feelings nonetheless, okay? I can't let this go. You are my Ten of Cups. I cannot see myself with anyone else but you, right? Another thing that's what's driving them forward. It's almost like I can't allow someone else to come in and you know, swoop in and offer you this Ace of Pentacles when I want to be the one to offer you that, right? Again, the way they feel towards this feminine, it's almost like I don't think I'm going to feel this way about anyone else for the rest of my life, right? Let's get one more. One more for the Ten of Cups, please. One more. Okay. Yeah, like Knight of Pentacles. Do you know what? Like, it's quite a sincere energy that I'm getting from this masculine, in all honesty. They may not have done things correctly in the past. There's definitely a sense of them asking or needing forgiveness from this feminine here. But look, remember that message I just gave? I don't want someone else to swoop in and offer you this Ace of Pentacles. I want to be the one to come in to give it to you. And then we have this Knight of Pentacles. That's literally all they're thinking of. That's what's driving them forward. These feelings I have for you, I cannot shake. I cannot shake you from my world, from my energy. Life without you is boring. It's dull. It's miserable. I feel like they're miserable. They're lonely. There's a sense of them wanting to be in solitude. If they haven't cut out the outside distractions yet, they're about to, or they're going to. Again, there's a fear. There's a fear. What's triggered them? I feel as though you have many options around you, and I'm scared that someone's going to come in and offer you what I want to offer you. Let's see. Let me ask the question before I end this reading. I want to see, does the feminine have options? Is the feminine entertaining these other options? Where does the feminine stand in all this? Because we've spoken a lot about this masculine, but how does the feminine feel in all this? Let's see, what's the time? Oh, good. Okay. Does the feminine have other options? Are they entertaining these options? Like, how does the feminine feel towards this masculine? Queen of Cups. Look at that. This Queen of Cups also harbours deep feelings and emotions towards this masculine. It's like the Queen of Cups is looking at this cup and thinking, this cup is solely for you. I don't want to give this cup to anybody else. There's an element of this Queen feeling sad as well. Perhaps sad that the connection came to an end. Perhaps sad if they are aware that the masculine was moving towards third-party energy. There's definitely an element here of, I'm holding on to this cup. So let's see. Give me two more. Chariot. One more. King of Swords. Okay. So I do see and feel as though this feminine here is very confused, because it's almost like I have this cup of feelings and emotions for this person, which I hold on to, right? She's not giving that to anybody else. She's not giving that out to other people, right? But there's an element of this feminine moving forward or wanting to move forward. And I think with the King of Swords being here, the masculine either said something that was quite cruel, quite cold, quite abrupt. It's the King of Swords, like they're very direct. They're very cutthroat, right? And it's almost like, especially if there's no communication here, because did I say about the feminine perhaps blocking the masculine in some way? I don't know. I don't feel as though there's communication here, but what the problem is there is when there's no communication, like I said, it gives us the opportunity to make assumptions, right? If you're not giving me the answers, I'm gonna give myself the answers, right? So if the masculine has spoken to this feminine in quite a cold way, if the masculine cut off the feminine in some way, that's why the feminine is choosing to move forward. Tell me more about this Queen of Cups, please. Yeah, look. You are my person. You are my Two of Cups. You are the only person I want to give this cup to. There's an element of sadness here within. Oh, fuck me. Look at that. Remember I said, you know, whether it's because they found out that there was other third party involvement. Yeah. And then the Three of Cups comes out. This feminine is in a state of mind of, if you really truly wanted to be with me, if it was really me that you were seeking a romantic relationship with, there wouldn't have been this third party energy. You would not be involving yourself in the third party energy. So it's almost like this queen, the divine feminine, the Queen of Wands, Queen of Cups, is telling themselves, I need to move on because they're busy in themselves with other people. And I can either stay in this place of feeling sadness, regret, sorrow, heartbreak, or I can move on with my life. And I feel as though they are moving forward quite quickly with the Chariot being here, but they still have those feelings. They still have that sense of sadness, of sorrow, of heartbreak, right? And actually, I'm not going to say what I was about to say because I'll probably get backlash for it. But as a woman, as a female, I can tell you that majority of us do not jump from one person to the other. Majority of us will sit with that heartbreak, will sit with those feelings, try and figure it out, try and move forward the best we can. And when we feel ready to then give ourselves to somebody again or give our heart to somebody again, we will. But it's not a quick fix for us females. And again, I'm sorry, I don't want to get backlash for this. I'm not being like, oh, you know, masculines are arseholes. But I've seen it a lot. I've seen it more times than I could care to admit, to be honest. But they move on very quickly, or they'll go to the next kind of person to kind of validate themselves, or to validate, or to get some kind of like ego boost or ego stroke in some way. And they do that for a little while, but then once the feminine has actually got to that point where they're like, okay, like I'm ready to open up again, that's when the masculine's like, holy shit, I didn't get over that, or holy shit, I didn't heal properly from that. And then they're then seeking, or they're feeling that heartbreak. It's like a common fact, like look it up, right? The feminine always suffers first, and then once they get to a point where they're ready to move on, that's when the masculine starts feeling that pain. And I feel like that's what's happening here. Tell me more about this Chariot. Yeah, look at this. I feel really sad for this feminine. I'm moving on, but it's heavy, it's hard. Yeah, look. I'm moving forward with my life, but I'm carrying a lot of burdens here. The burdens are heavy. I feel sadness. The energy around me is heavy, because I felt as though what I had with you, or what I shared with you, was something deep. I feel as though this feminine is feeling the loss, in the sense of they really connected well on a deeper level with this masculine. They really felt as though this was somebody who they could turn to, somebody they could speak to, somebody who they just felt happy with. And once that person's left your life, once that person's gone, like you feel that loss, right? Whether it's grief in the sense of an actual death, or grief in the sense of like an ending of a friendship or a relationship, you still have to grieve that. And that's what's happening here. I'm moving on, but it's heavy. I'm moving on, but I'm grieving. Tell me more about the King of Swords. Judgment. Ooh. And the Queen of Wands. Yeah, okay. They definitely did say something quite cold or quite cutting towards this feminine, right? Definitely. They were cold. They were emotionless. It was abrupt. It was brutal. Like, and let me tell you now, the universe is really handing their ass to them now. There's a judgment call. There's a wake-up call here, right? You spoke to her. You spoke to the feminine the way in which you did. You were cold, you were emotionless, you were brutal, you cut them off very quickly. And it's almost like a karmic energy. This is because of your own actions. These are the consequences you are facing now because of the way in which you spoke to this feminine, right? And again, there's the Queen of Wands, which is just double clarifying that message for me. They are your person, they're your Queen of Wands. They're somebody who you think very highly of. You put this feminine on a pedestal. You have such deep feelings and emotions for them, but yet you treated them as if they meant nothing to you. So they definitely are kind of facing their karma at the moment. Whether or not they realise that, I'm not too sure. But it's definitely like their life isn't great. Like if you're in no communication with this masculine, if you're the feminine watching this, they're sad, they're regretful, they're in deep sorrow, they're in deep regret here. They know that they haven't handled things in the correct way. There's an element of understanding, as we saw. It goes very deep here. Very, very deep here. Okay, so now we know how the feminine is feeling. The feminine has not moved on in the sense of, you know, there's somebody else they're entertaining, but they are moving on in their life and thinking that this person could not care less about me, so I need to move on just to kind of heal myself, right? Okay, how am I going to end the reading? I'm going to end the reading with some messages from my Lost Love Notes deck. I want to see how the masculine truly feels towards this feminine. What they would say if they had the chance to. I can't fight these feelings any longer. So I mean, they just can't shake it. I believe we are spiritually connected. So they are looking at the connection in a you know, from a place of this definitely holds a deeper meaning. This wasn't, we didn't go all through we didn't go through all this for nothing, right? And we saw that with the Seven of Pentacles as well. Would you ever give me another chance? This is that, again, the energy of understanding, of almost asking for forgiveness. I daydream about you all the time. So you're constantly playing on this person's mind. I even feel as though, like, even when they're not trying to think of you, they automatically do think of you. For me, it's normally when I'm driving, which is really dangerous. You know, like when you're driving and you get from one place to the other, and you snap out of it and you think, how the fuck did I just get here? Like, I literally completely zoned out, but I still managed to drive. It's wild. I've never met anyone who loves with the same intensity that you do. I mean, yeah, that doesn't surprise me when you're dealing with a divine feminine, Queen of Wands, Queen of Cups. I mean, the love that they give is you're not going to find that twice in this lifetime. Let's get one more. Life just isn't the same without you in it. I said that, didn't I? Life is dull. Life is miserable. It's boring. You brought warmth. You brought excitement. You brought all the good stuff, basically. I can't fight these feelings any longer. This is why they're choosing to move forward and do the inner work and do the healing. I believe we are spiritually connected. They understand now that this connection does hold a deeper meaning. Would you ever give me another chance? They want your forgiveness. They want your understanding. They want the opportunity to do things the correct way here. I daydream about you all the time. So even when they're trying not to think about you, or just doing the simplest of tasks, you still pop into their mind, right? I've never met anyone who loves with the same intensity that you do. The love that you've given them is like no other, and life just isn't the same without you in it. Okay, so quite a deep, impactful reading, I think, but I feel quite positive. Like I said, I feel a sense of like There's a sincere energy coming from this masculine's energy. Like, I feel as though they are realizing where they went wrong or what they did wrong here. And, you know, if someone's going to come in and ask for forgiveness, or, you know, really take accountability for making a mistake, if you're willing to give them that, you know, another chance, then that's your prerogative. Obviously, if it's got to a point where you're just like, I just can't, then again, that's your decision. We all have free will, don't we? But I do feel as though this masculine does want to show up differently. They do want to make these changes, and they definitely do want to embark on like a brand new path or begin a brand new cycle here, which is just full of love, it's full of laughter, it's full of happiness. They don't want to feel lonely, they don't want to feel sadness anymore. They just want that 10 of cups with you. That's really all they're envisioning for their future. So I'm going to leave that there. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you do enjoy my readings, then please consider hitting that subscribe button on my YouTube channel. But yeah, I will check in with you guys tomorrow. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Take care. Bye.